Hello everyone, it's Marcel. I wanted to talk to you today about fake MGTOW and essentially discuss where we all want to go with this movement. So I don't want this video to be me telling you what MGTOW is or how to view it or how to do it, as much as it is asking what we want it to become. Like any other socially constructed concept, MGTOW is going to change as it grows. It will adapt to problems and pressures from society and will suit the needs of those who claim to be it. I agree that fundamentally, MGTOW is self-ownership, meaning that you don't allow culture or influences from others to dictate how you want to live your life. The portion of MGTOW not wanting to date women strains more from the fact that they are one of the greatest sources of problems for men in society, and very little to do with the act of dating in of itself being wrong. Though it's never that simple, is it? With the examples of mistreated men and unbalanced standards piling up by the day. We tend to fall back on if a man can change that one thing about his life, that generally everything else tends to improve along with it. So when I hear someone telling me, hey, I've been a MGTOW for X number of years, and I finally got my girlfriend, I can't help but ask myself if they learned anything the entire time. Kind of reduces the red pill all the way down to just an intermission between girlfriends. Of course, one could argue that that man will bring more skills, better expectations, and a lot more self-respect into the relationship, but nonetheless, none of that will protect him when the whole thing falls to shit. At best, it'll just assist with picking the girl in the first place and maybe cushion the collateral damage in the end. Then you incorporate purple pill and the different levels of red pill, and you almost see a hierarchy forming of different grades of MGTOW, though that itself may not be a problem because we're all individuals and we all interpret things differently, and the variety does allow for greater acceptance by those who don't fit the rigid standards set by a completely red pill man. The demons here may very well hide in that same complexity. Allow me to explain a few reasons why. Firstly, at its roots, the concept of MGTOW is very pure. A sound-minded, logical person could easily agree with it. We don't want to build so much so onto it that we lose those core concepts in the mix. If a blue pill man reaches out and tries to go MGTOW and all he gets is a huge rule book of different explanations, it's not as likely to be any help to him. Secondly, the further we define it and the more intricate it becomes, the greater leverage that gives to other people who would want to dismantle it and to pick it apart. A common tactic of feminists and social justice warriors and the like is to sift through as many of the details as they can in a topic they don't agree with until they eventually find something they can pry out and show it to the world as the reason why they have grounds to tear the whole thing down. Now maybe we're not concerned with this. I believe MGTOW can never be stopped, though if our end goal is to really make things better and help as many people as we can, we should ensure that specifics about us correlate with the big picture. All the branches need to lead back to the trunk of the tree. It just makes it harder for our image to be corrupted. Future MGTOW should see us for who we truly are. Then, finally, as we grow and expand in the world, we're going to incorporate a greater diversity of viewpoints. And though that in of itself is good, the further we stretch from our main purpose, the more likely it is that individuals within our own movement, possibly even based upon how they were initially introduced, could disagree so much so that either or both would feel alienated and ultimately want to leave. Even with my short time as a creator here talking about MGTOW, I've been accused of all sorts of different things. Though I welcome the criticism, I wonder if it would happen as frequently if we were to tie back in more of what we discuss into the base concepts. Granted, that's not accounting for the occasional troll. Overall, we are truly becoming an unstoppable force, and we will continue to do so as long as we fall back on the beliefs we were founded on. We should continue calling out those who claim things that we do not agree with, even if that were to mean you calling me out on something I have said. Let's continue to sculpt all of this into what we accumulatively want it to be. Meanwhile, I've decided I want to take a portion of my time into reasserting our foundations. There is a bigger picture here that I do not want lost amongst the details, and that is essentially that to be MGTOW is to take the reins in one's own life, to accomplish all the things we set out to do, achieve the destiny that we believe we were meant for. especially when these things have no ill effect on others. Because in the end, when our time comes and our lives are spent, we will have no one to blame but ourselves for the choices we have made. And as it currently stands, the greatest shackles that bind us happens to be women and the way society expects us to interact with them. So it's a damn good place to start. I really want to build on these ideas. Tell me if you like the direction I'm going with this, that it should mostly be about empowerment. Your comments here will help to craft future videos. Meanwhile, if you like what I've said and you want to hear more, like and subscribe. So to lighten the mood before I go, a woman is laying in bed reading a book when her husband suddenly walks into the bedroom, holding a sheep under his arm. He stops at the foot of the bed and says, "When this pig won't sleep with me, that's when I have sex with you." Though she is appalled, she can't resist and says, "I'll have you know, that's a sheep you're holding." He replies, "Oh, I know. I was talking to the sheep."